Welcome back to my podcast, Becoming Me, Discovering You. And if you don't know, my name is Quan. I'm your host. And today I want to talk to you about something that has brought me a lot of joy and peace. And that's just being creative. I'll share with you how I started my candle business, Flaming Sister Co., and how hosting this podcast has really helped me find myself and help me be happy. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, y'all. So let's go ahead and start with today's episode. We're going to be talking about being creative. So for me, being creative has always been a significant part of my life. It's more than just an outlet for me. It's a way that I can kind of connect with myself on a more deeper level. I started being creative, quote unquote, with my mom. My mama is a big DIY queen. She loves to make things. She is also a party decorator, so she loves to do that. And it's just something that we've always done together. It's something that we've done like as a bonding thing or whatever. So with that, I just took that and was like, okay, let me find something that I may enjoy. And I found making candles, I think back in like 2023 or maybe end of 2022 maybe. But anyways, I found making candles was something that it just made me feel like, oh my God, I really like doing this. I really like being able to create a candle. And not just because it smells good or something like that. One, I love candles, absolutely love candles. I burn a whole candle in a day. Bath and Body Works candles does not stand a chance. It'll burn all day, and I love them. I just love a candle. So I was like, okay, let me just try to make a candle. So I started making candles. When I first made a candle, y'all, it was amazing. I did not think I was going to like it. I did not even think I was going to be good at it or whatever, but I did become good at it. And I not only liked it, but I loved it. It gave me a sense of fulfillment and peace. And that's something that I haven't experienced in a very long time. So I made a decision to start my candle business. And it wasn't just a business decision. It was more of a personal decision. And it was a personal decision for me because I found myself when I was blending all my materials together and I was pouring out my candles and pouring out the wax into my vessels. I wasn't just pouring a wax into a vessel. As I was pouring that wax, it was giving me positivity. It was giving me encouragement. It was giving me peace. Like I keep going back to that peace thing. It was giving me peace. It was giving me an outlet to, without talking, being able to release negative energy. That's basically what candles did for me. It gave me an outlet to release some type of negative energy that was within me. Why it does that, I'm not sure. I've never really done anything that made me feel some type of way, I guess I can say. Yeah, I've made things before, like I said, but I've always had to be in the mood to make them. I really don't have to be in the mood to make a candle. Like if I have to, like say somebody order a candle and I don't have it and I just need to go ahead and make it. I ain't gonna say I can be having, like if I'm having a bad day and I need to make that candle, I can guarantee my day is going to turn around just because I need to make a candle. And when I start making a candle, the process of the candle, it's just something about being able to create that candle just makes me feel great. And it also gives me fulfillment that I'm being able to make something that's not only bringing me joy, but also bringing somebody else joy in life, somebody else some type of peace in life. So that's what, and also, as I said earlier, I am coming out with a new candle line November 1st. And that's what made me want to make this new candle line, because I wanted something that when my customers burnt the candle, it gave them that sense of peace. It gave them that sense of relaxation that just making the candles give me. No matter what the scent is, it's going to give me some type of relaxation. So I decided to create candles that gives my customer that same thing. So with the process, like I said, it gave me more of a positive mindset. It made me feel more happy, and it extended beyond the candles themselves. So being creative has been a positive tool within my life. And when I started, when you're creating something, whether it's a candle, art, or even just being on a podcast. Start recording your podcast. It don't even matter. Whatever you do to decide that you are going to be creative, make sure you're engaging in, when you're doing that, you're engaging in an act of love. And not just any type of love, y'all. The best kind. Self-love. Being able to give yourself self-love is something that is just like unimaginable. I have not been able to, not only have I not had peace in a long time, I have not always given myself the best love. I always felt like I can give other people love, which is a lie, because how can I love somebody else when I can barely love myself, no matter who the other person is? It can be a boyfriend, it can be a mom, your mama, your sister, your brother, whoever. You can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself, if you don't cherish yourself, if you don't take care of yourself. You can't give that energy back to the world because you really don't know how to do it for yourself. So how you going to do it for somebody else? So with being on that discovery journey, and being able to give myself that love, that self-love, just, just being able to pour my heart and soul into something, it was just, it's just been amazing for me. And it has really impacted me in a great way. And hopefully if you find something that makes you, that you like to do when you're being creative, it gives you that same impact. So that's what Flaming Sister Co is for me. And it has been a way for me to not only to spread happiness. It's been a way for me to spread happiness, not only happiness and peace, to others and to myself. That's just basically what it is. Like, being able to be happy and peaceful within myself is what my candles really started doing for me. That was my first step in being able to be like, you know what? I really like doing this. But, sorry, y'all. But yeah, it's been giving me that, that it's been a little powerful for me to realize that I need something to be creative on my self-discovery journey. My creative journey didn't just stop with my candles. As y'all see, hey y'all, we on my podcast, Becoming Me, Discovering You. One, I wanted to name it that, Becoming Me, Discovering You, because I am slowly becoming who I need to be. And I hope I'm helping you discover who you need to be, or not even need to be, what your purpose is. Hope you discover your purpose and help me. I'm becoming my purpose. I want y'all to discover your purpose while I'm becoming my purpose. So that's what that's what my podcast is basically about. That's where I get the name from, if y'all didn't know. But I take my podcast as being something like a personal voice journal. If y'all don't know, y'all gonna hear journal through this whole podcast, because I love to journal. I love to write. And starting my podcast has been a different form of journaling for me. I never thought of it that way really until I really started doing my first couple episodes when I first started. And I was like, you know what? This is relaxing. I like this. It does something for me. This platform, it has given me an opportunity to share my thoughts. It gave me the opportunity to share y'all with my struggles that I go through, any triumphs that I have with y'all. I really love that. It's a space where I can be vulnerable and honest about my journey I'm on and figuring out who I am and who I'm meant to be. Like, no lie, y'all, before I started making this episode today, like, I'm really, really starting to record this episode the day that it's going to drop. Today is Wednesday, October 9th, and it's currently 3:30 a.m. I was not going to record an episode. I was in my feelings, like deeply in my feelings for a long time, for about 2 weeks. I'm not going to say it's a long time because I haven't allowed myself to be in that space in a long time. So 2 weeks is a long time when I haven't allowed myself to be in that space for no time since I've been doing it. But again, when we're on a self-discovery journey, you're in control, but you just have to keep reminding yourself of those little things that does keep you moving and that does keep you motivated. And I kind of lost that. Anyways, I was not going to record an episode for y'all. I was not. I even put it on my social media for my podcast that there was not going to be an episode for today. But as I laid down, I just started thinking, like, you know what? I've been doing too good for this. Like, why not make an episode? Why not? Like, so I got up, I prayed. Anytime before I start recording, I do make sure I pray. But I made sure I prayed on a deeper level tonight. Not just God, show me what, help me with what I need to say. But also I prayed because I needed to ask God for some type of forgiveness. And the reason I say I needed to ask God for forgiveness is because I really lost. Like, I felt like I was going back to my old self. And when I restarted this journey on the first episode of season 2, as I told y'all, I had got lost there within my journey. So I had to go back, rediscover why I wanted to be on this journey. And I did. At that time, I really did let God know, like, you know what, God, I'm really going to try not to be negative. I'm going to make sure I try not to feed myself these negative thoughts, because I was the type of person that I ain't gonna say was. I'm the type of person, because it happened. It just happened. So I'm still that person, apparently. So I'm the type of person, when something gets to me or something and it ain't even got to be one thing for me, because I can take one thing at a time. If I can take one thing and I can deal with that, and then something else come along and I can deal with that. But that ain't how life really, really work. So this week, life showed me that we gonna throw everything at you. Everything gonna happen. Your car gonna break. A bill gonna need to be paid. This gonna happen, and then this gonna happen. So all of that happened. So when all of that happened, like, I promise y'all, I have been dealing with this mindset for about a week, almost 2 weeks, I would say. I really would say about 2 weeks, because the first week I could feel myself going down that alley, and I kept telling myself, like, we not gonna do it. And I kept praying, like, God help me, God help me, God help me. But my mind, I hate how my mind works sometimes. Like, I can keep telling myself, like, I'm not going to do this. But I get weak-minded, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Especially when stuff keeps piling on me, I start to feel defeated. And that's really how I started to feel, which is stupid, because I can't feel defeated every time something happens, or every time something happens. If I have something to do, more than one thing to deal with, I cannot continue to be defeated like that. And I hate that. I hate that about myself. And I know hate is a real strong word, but I really do despise that about myself, that I feel so weak-minded sometimes. And I'm really not a weak-minded person. I'm really not. I'm a strong person in certain areas. When it comes to other people, I'm a strong-minded person. But when it comes to me, I'm a very weak-minded person. I get defeated within myself because, as I said before, we set these goals for ourselves, and really and truly they're not unrealistic, but because we're not hitting them when we want to hit them, then we get upset, and we is me. So that's basically what started happening. I started doubting myself. I started feeling overwhelmed. So all of that started happening. And like I said, the first week I was going through it. I was talking myself through it. I was making sure I prayed. I was making sure I was reading my Bible. I was making sure I was writing down my journals. I was writing my notes to God. I was doing all of that. So I was on the edge on the week, but I could feel, when you're on the edge and somebody's holding you back from falling off. So that was God. He was holding me back from that time. And the reason he was holding me back is because I was making sure I was bringing him in. Let him know, like, hold me. Then I lost that. This week, something else happened, and it just threw me over the edge. I ain't even asked God to hold me. I just jumped over him. I just pushed myself out of his hands, and was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired of being disappointed. I'm tired of being upset. I'm tired of being frustrated. I'm tired of having to go through everything. But then I sat and I thought tonight, if we tired now, how we gonna make it later? Shit don't come easy, so I really had to tell myself that. I really had to think about what I was telling myself, and really had to realize, like, girl, you really been that same girl. You been that negative girl. You're not growing up. It's time to grow the fuck up. Grow that mind up. So I had to go back and I had to repent, and I had to tell God that I was sorry that I went into that mind and that dark place, because it was really becoming a dark place for me. I was really like, nothing's gonna work out, nothing's gonna go my way, and that's not true. It's just really not true. I just got to keep making sure I put in the work to do what I need to do. And so that's why I got up and I did this episode at 3:30 in the morning, because I knew that's what I needed to do. And yeah, I did just get off a little topic, but I had to let y'all know that I was in a dark place and I was not going to do this episode. But when I started recording, y'all, no lie, I felt relief. I felt like this is what I needed to do. This is what I need to do to make myself feel better, and to realize to myself, like, girl, we being stupid. Not even just stupid, we're being childish. Grow up. Grow that mind up, because it's not going to always go my way. It's not going to always happen how I think it should happen. So that's why being able to be creative, being able to do this podcast really is helping me. I've been trying to make candles within these past 2 weeks. I have not made candles. I have vessels sitting on my table right now that I need to pour. I need to make a YouTube video for my candles, but because I have not been in a great mindset, I have not been doing it. But guess what, y'all? I'm gonna make me some candles tomorrow, because I feel like a burden has been lifted off my shoulders, and that's no lie, y'all. I just feel like a weight has been lifted off, especially after my prayer. I really felt like a weight was lifted off. I really felt like I gave it back to God. And again, as I told y'all, I'm that type of person that I gave God a piece of it before and I take it back. I give him some of it and I take it back. And I didn't take everything back, but I was slowly taking stuff back. Like, oh, this podcast ain't gonna work, so I ain't gonna pray about that no more. This YouTube ain't gonna work, so I ain't gonna pray about that no more. These candles ain't gonna sell, so I ain't gonna pray about that no more. But if you notice, everything I stopped praying about was everything that made me happy, everything that gave me peace. So I know that wasn't nothing but the devil that was trying to tell me, that was trying to bring me back to that old space, trying to make me go back to him, trying to make me go back to that mindset that we ain't gonna do nothing but work for the rest of our life. It's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, because trust me, I'm gonna work my 9 to 5 as long as I possibly can. I'm gonna work it while I'm making, I can be living in a big pink house and I still can take phone calls. I'm gonna be taking phone calls. That's what I'm just gonna do. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to do it forever. I don't want to have to work a regular 9 to 5 job forever, because if you're not something in the company, you really not making no money. So I know I want to do something to make money, to be able to help my mama, help my sister and my brothers and my daddy. And I want to be able to help them. And I know I cannot do it with what type of job I have now. So I know I have to go out to other adventures to figure out what I'm going to do. That's the part of me figuring out my purpose and all of that. So I knew I had to get back to my creativity, because that's what I do. I'm creative. I'm going to continue to be creative. I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to tell the devil he going to step the fuck back off of me, because he can't have me. I'm for God and God only. Like, God got this mind. God going to continue to feed nothing but positivity into this mind. And I pray that for y'all too. If you have negative thoughts, or even if you have self-doubt, that's nothing but the devil. Make sure you tell yourself every single day, God got me. God gonna continue to find, he gonna help me find a way to make my dream a reality. We're gonna pray about this thing. We're gonna continue to work on this thing. We're gonna continue to put work in this. Just like you work at your 9 to 5 and you give them 100% of your time. When you get off, you're gonna give your job, you're gonna give your creativity or whatever. If you want to make it a business, you're gonna give your creativity 100% every fucking time. So make sure you give that 100% every time. And when you give that 100%, make sure you're giving that 100% with God. So that's where it's going to make it 110%, because he's going to make it better. So that's just basically what I wasn't trying to go down that road. Like, I wasn't going to say much about me not wanting to do these episodes today or how I've been feeling for the past 2 weeks. But if I didn't tell y'all that, then I'd be fake as fuck. And that's really how I feel. Like, how am I going to tell y'all about self-discovery, but I'm going to make it like everything over here peaches and cream, but it ain't. I'm struggling every day, y'all. Like, I promise you, I cry myself to sleep. The past 2 weeks, I've been crying myself to sleep. But I get up the next morning like, nothing's wrong. But in my head, I know something's wrong. I'm feeling lightheaded all the time, heavy-hearted all the time, because I feel disappointed in myself, and I hate feeling disappointed. I hate feeling like I had to take a step back. But guess why I had to take a step back? So I had to remind myself that, you know what? You can't do this by yourself. Pick that Bible back up. Keep praying. Keep doing your daily devotions like you need to be. I was doing devotionals, y'all, like every night before I got off of work. I was making sure I was doing that. And then slowly but surely stuff started to slip. Time was like, oh, I'm tired tonight. I'm not going to do it. I do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow never came because I had something else to do. And so when I started doing that, no lie, y'all, when I stopped reading my Bible and I stopped praying, shit started happening. Shit started going down. So within 2 weeks, because usually it takes a little bit longer for me. It usually don't take that long when I leave God. It usually just be like, he be like, okay, I'm going to give about a month to see what she do. Not this time. God said, I'm going to give your ass 2 weeks, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to come back. And I came back, came running back. I came back to remind myself like, girl, you can't do this by yourself. Stop trying. It is my self-discovery journey, but I know I cannot discover this journey by myself. I know I need God. I know I need these tools that I have implanted into my life to make me feel better, like doing my podcast, making my candles, continue to write in my journal. Stuff like that has made me be more positive on this self-discovery journey. And I want that for y'all. I want y'all to be able to find something that y'all can put your heart in, and that's something that not only just put your heart in, but put your heart in something that when you put your heart in it, when you do it, you know that this is what I need. This is the peace of mind that I need. This is the peace of mind that I've been looking for a long time. And you'll know when you find it, because it's just going to give you, it's going to feel like relief. It's going to feel like you was talking to a therapist and you just told him everything you was going through. That's how that relief gonna feel. Like you just lifted that world off your shoulders by doing that, by being able to find something that encourages you or makes you happy, fulfills you, makes you peaceful. Just find that, y'all. That's all I want y'all to do. And the most important thing that I want y'all to learn and I want to share with y'all today is there's no age limit to this self-discovery thing. It's not. I used to think it was. I used to think that by 35, I should be married. I should have kids. And yes, I do want to be married. I do want to have kids, but I don't want to have kids until I'm married. I've been saying that prayer since I was young, y'all. I don't know why that prayer has always been a prayer of mine, but that's something I've never taken from God. I've always gave God that prayer there. Please, Lord, don't let me have no kids until I have a man that is going to be for me and for my family. He is going to want me. He is going to want to be a family man and all of that. So that's just something that I always prayed about. But I always thought that that prayer would be answered by the time I was at least 35, really at least 30. Then when 30 didn't come, I was like, okay, maybe 35. I'm 36 now, single, no kids. But it's no age limit to it. It don't matter when you start. It don't matter how you start. Just start. That's all you got to do. Just start. I don't give a damn if you're 18 or if you're 36. Just start. That's all you got to do. It's going to change each time. So even if you start at 18, I guarantee by the time you hit 20, you're going to be trying to figure something else about yourself, because your life's going to change. Our life continues to change. We are always put into different situations that we need to, either take ourselves out of or remold ourselves for it so we could be a better fit for it, or whatever we have to do. We're always going to be constantly changing this journey. So sorry. We're always going to be changing this journey. We're always going to, something in life is always going to have to make us pivot this journey. So that's the thing about self-discovery. It's not a destination, it's a journey. I say that's my tagline. Self-discovery is not a destination, it's a journey. You're always going to be on this journey. You're never going to be stopped you're going to be stopped at a destination for a little while. Like if you go on a cruise, they stop at the port for a couple hours and then you got to get back on the boat so you can go to your next destination. That's just how that to me, that's my way of saying that's how self-discovery works. So no matter if you just started or if you've been on your journey for years, it's okay not to have everything figured out. And I have to continue to remind myself that I do not have to have everything figured out right now. Long as I start to figure things out, long as I start to put things in perspective that I need to put in perspective. Most important thing that I need to put in perspective is to control my mindset, control my thoughts. That's my biggest thing. So that's really why I started my candle business and also why I started my podcast. And I started both of those late in life. I started my candle business when I was about 34. I think I started making candles when I was like 34, and I started making my podcast at 35, I think, somewhere like that. I was either 30, getting ready to turn 34 when I started making my candles, or I was either 34, but I know I was 35 when I started making my podcast. And both of them has been a vital part of helping me uncover new parts of uncover new parts of myself and learn new things about myself, learn things that I like, learn things that help me calm down, learn ways to navigate through this life. So they've been a big help in my life. And we live in this world where what a world tells you that you're supposed to have everything all mapped out by a certain time and by a certain age. But that ain't true at all, y'all. It's not. There's no timeline set for you to find out who you are. It's a lifelong process, and every step you take, whether it's starting a business, exploring some new hobbies, or simply taking some time to reflect on who you are and what you want to be. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to have the step in the right direction of figuring out what your purpose is. That's the biggest part, is figuring out what your purpose is. But every step you take, no matter how small, no matter even if it's backwards, and that's to me, even if I have to step backwards, it's a step in the right direction of figuring out who I am, figuring out what I need to learn. Because if I have to step back, I always say, if I have to take a few steps back, that means I didn't learn something while I was in that position at that time. So I had to take a few steps back 2 weeks because I lost sight of God. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I did. I lost sight of God. I stopped doing what I needed to do, and I know I need to continue to do what I need. I know I need to continue to keep him in my life, because that's the only way that my mindset is going to be strong. I promise y'all that is. There's no other way. I've tried it so many times by myself I got it. I can be positive. I'm going to stay being positive. I'm going to keep being positive. But I find if I don't pray before I know something difficult is going to come up, I'm not going to make it. I'm not. I'm going to be negative about it. I know I am. So I know I have to continue to do that. And when I say, y'all, I have to pray every 5 minutes, because my mind is like, my mind is the worst ever. And I really do not like that about myself. I wish that was something that I could change, like today, like right now. I wish I could change that I could be more positive towards myself, because I promise y'all, if somebody came up to me and told me they was having some issues, or even told me they were thinking the exact same way I was thinking, I promise you I have something to tell you. I promise you I'd be able to be positive to you. But I wouldn't be able to be positive I would be able to be positive to you and say the right things to you, but I still would not pick up what I laid down for you for myself. And that's just crazy to me. So I know for me to be able to pick up those positive words that I have of encouragement for other people, I have to be able to keep God in my life. I need to keep God in my life regardless, because he is the head of my household. He's going to make things happen for me that I never seen before. So I know I need to keep him within my life. And that's just a reminder for myself. I know I have setbacks, and that's just of the flesh. I just know I need to keep my eyes set on God, keep making sure I have my creative outlets, my podcast and my candles. I know I need to keep doing all of those things so that I can continue to take my step into the right direction. So I do want to go ahead and close out today's episode. But if you're still listening and you listen today and if you're still listening and you feel like you haven't quite figured things out yet, and you really just don't know what the hell you got going on, I just want to let y'all know you're not alone. I'm still figuring out. I said it every episode. I don't want y'all to think that I got everything together, because I don't. I really don't. I'm really trying hard, and that's all that counts, is that I'm trying, and that I continue to try to do my best, and that's just what I'm gonna do. And I just want y'all to continue to try to do y'all best. I want y'all to continue to take one step forward, even if you have to take 2 steps back. Take those 2 steps back, but baby, take that 1 step forward, and don't keep looking back. Just keep going. Keep making those changes that you need to make. Keep being creative. Make sure you it's going to help keep being creative, so it can help you discover new aspects about yourself, bring more positivity vibes and good vibes to your life. Make sure y'all keep doing that. Whether it's my Flaming Sister Co., which is my candle line, or this podcast, or whatever creative outlet you find, remember, you always have the power to shape your journey. Just keep going. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Becoming Me, Discovering You. I hope you found some inspiration out of my story today, and I really hope it encouraged you to embrace your own creative journey. So until next time, make sure you keep discovering, keep creating, and remember, your journey is unique, and that's what makes it so damn beautiful. Have a great day.